I have known that I wanted to be an actor since 2004. And while I've learned a lot of things through my acting journey, some things took a little longer to learn than others. Tyra, the creative. That's right. The creative. What is up, everybody? It's your girl Tyra, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. I am so glad to have you. I create resources for creatives who want to escape fear and share their creativity with the world without compromising their faith, creativity, integrity, and without breaking the bank. Today, we're going to be talking about 11 things that I wish I knew before I decided to become an actor. Granted, I decided I wanted to become an actor in the 4th grade. So I don't know how much of this I could have realistically known at the age of 10, but hopefully sharing these things with you guys will help you along your acting journey. The first thing I wish I knew before becoming an actor is that taking care of your body should be your #1 priority. And you guys, I'm talking mentally and physically and spiritually. It's very important that you are whole in every aspect of your life. I like to look at it like this. Your body is your instrument, and you have to have your instrument in tip-top shape to be able to use it at 100%. So for me, I never really even thought about mental health, and that is so important because you have to make sure that your mind is clear. You have to make sure that you can actually spend the amount of time on your craft that needs to be there and not have all of this craziness going on in your mind. So one thing that helped me was getting into meditation. I was able to quiet my mind and focus longer, and also stop procrastinating stuff as much. And on the physical side, since I've moved out to LA, I've started eating way healthier. I was even vegan for about 2.5 years. Nowadays, I just eat a mainly plant-based diet, and I'm also going to the gym and working out regularly. And I have seen that I have so much more energy, and I'm also more comfortable about my body. Before I started working out, when I would go to auditions or casting calls and I would watch my tapes back, I'd be like, oh my gosh, like, where did all of this extra fat come from? Like, what is going on? So I really wanted to make sure that I was in the best health that I possibly could be. #2 is that less is more. Some people go into the casting room in full out costumes, they bring props, they do all of this crazy stuff that is really unnecessary. And I've been to casting director workshops where they say, hey, y'all stop doing that. We don't need to see all of that, and sometimes it really makes us uncomfortable. So I wish I would have known that beforehand, because there's been times where I have been in costume or I've brought a small prop and really that's unnecessary, and they think that sometimes it can take away from the performance. Which leads me to #3. More is more. So I know this is directly opposite of what I just said, but you never know which one is going to work for which casting director. So there's all types of stories about celebrities who have gone into the audition room and they've made some strong, confident acting choices, or they've had on a whole wardrobe, props, and all of these things, and the casting director has just looked at them and said, this person has got something. I want to work with them. You never really know what you're gonna get, so I think it's all about being confident in your performance as a whole, whether you have the props and the outfits or whether you go in there with just yourself in a regular audition outfit. But I do know of some actors' careers that have been catapulted from making these super strong choices. #4 is make strong choices. So you guys, I used to be an actor that literally just wanted to be a blank slate and have the director to direct me. And that is not the way you want to approach an audition. When you go into an audition, you want to go into the audition with the mindset that I already have this role and this is exactly how I would perform it if I was on stage, if I was on set. So the casting director is looking at the choices that you are making to see just how confident you are in your skill set. When I used to get some auditions, especially a self-tape, I would literally like rack my brain saying, oh my gosh, I don't know what they want. But in reality, I should have been saying, okay, Tyra, what choices are we going to make to bring this character to life? Make strong choices. And also, more often than not, the casting director or the director doesn't necessarily 100% know what they want. So they're relying on you making choices to inspire the direction they take the story in. #5 is There is no science to it. There is absolutely no science to acting. There are people who have gotten spotted on the street that are now famous and actors, and there are people who have been grinding for years and years who have finally peaked in their career. So don't think that you're too young. Don't think you're too old. Don't think you've been doing this too long. Don't think you haven't been doing this long enough and don't have enough experience. There is literally no science to it. Your time will come when preparation meets opportunity. And in recent years, we've seen a lot of influencers and YouTubers who are getting their big breaks because they created their own content. So go out and create your own content. I personally create skits on my channel because I don't want to wait for a casting director to cast me. I want to find my own creative voice and also share who I am creatively with the world. And while I'm doing that, I'm still auditioning and I'm still perfecting my craft as an actor. Creating content in this digital age is gold. Number 6 is the no's are where stars are born. I talk about this all the time with my friends, but when I went to college, I heard no a lot. And those were some of my first experiences with the word no, because in high school, I was always cast because I was talented, but I was also determined to get the role right. And you know, in high school, not everyone wants to act. They're just, you know, taking a class. So once I got to college and I auditioned, and I auditioned and I auditioned and I kept hearing no over and over, I started to kind of doubt my talents. But something within me was like, no, Tyra, this is exactly what I want to do. So keep going, get this degree and then go out in the real world and show them that you have what it takes. And as I reflected on that, upon graduation, I became so thankful for the no's because I really did not need to be one of the people that were always getting cast, because that was me in high school. I needed a season of no, because every no that you get, that moves you closer to a yes. And in the real world, you're not gonna hear yes 100% of the time. So you have to form a relationship with the word no, and also retrain your brain to know that when you hear the word no, it doesn't mean no, it means not yet, or this role just wasn't right for me. So now every time I hear a no, I'm like, okay, cool, on to the next, because I'm getting closer and closer to my breakthrough. Number 7 is who you know is important. So when you guys are going to acting classes or you're at an audition, talk, network with the people around you, meet new people. It's super important to meet new people because you never know what that relationship with that person can do for your career or what you can do for that person. And also I want to specifically say, make sure you're networking across, because there's tons of actors who only want to go to like the Hollywood parties and meet the super famous, but networking across with people who are still on your level and then y'all build up, that is where the true gold is, because there's always generations of actors, or there's generations of famous people, or whatever you want to call it, and bringing each other up is where the true magic happens. Because once they get on their first set and they become the second AD or the director, hey, I have this friend that was in my acting class, oh, let me call her up because I know she will be perfect for this role. So network across. Don't just try to climb the ladder super fast. It's not the only way. But who you know is super important. In that, networking is crucial. Number 8, oh y'all, number 8 is consider the source. Now, specifically what I want to talk about is acting coaches versus working actors versus actors who aren't working. So when I first moved out to LA and I would ride in Ubers and Lyfts, people would ask me what I did. And I would say, hey, I'm an actor. And I've had a few instances where the Uber driver says, oh, I used to be an actor. And they are just so jaded and they just spew negativity and push their fears or their failures onto you. And that is not cool in any way. So if that happens to you, don't even listen to what they got to say, because we're not trying to hear no negativity over here. Now, with acting coaches, while acting coaches can be super dope, you want to eat the meat and spit out the bones. So take the bits of information that are helpful to you and discard everything else. Because when you have an acting coach, they can be very far removed from the real world. So they can really teach you well from a technical point, but when it comes to real world problems, they may not have the best advice. And I've had a situation where I asked my acting coach about a situation with my agent, and I said, hey, acting coach, my agent is like yelling at me and treating me like I'm her child. Like, this is very unprofessional. What should I do? And my acting coach said, well, she's probably really stressed out. You should just take it. Needless to say, I did not do that. I dropped my agent because we are all for healthy business relationships over here. And now I have a new acting coach because that's not the type of advice that I want to hear. Tyra is not about to settle for less in any way. I'm not about to just take things that should not be happening. That's very unhealthy. And on the other side of that is the working actor. Working actors can have so much great advice about the industry today. So make sure that you're talking to them, asking them about their experience, and if they could share any tips with you that can help you navigate your acting career. But always consider the source. Don't listen to everybody's advice, and also don't discard all advice. The ninth thing that I wish I knew before deciding to become an actor is that acting is a business. You guys, I'm just saying flat out, I've been scammed. I have been scammed. I have been scammed. And I don't want that to happen to you guys. So learn about the business of acting. Read up on all the laws. Learn about your rights. Learn about the relationship between an agent and a manager and an actor. Because I have been scammed in that I had an agent when I was living on the East Coast, and they charged me about $4,000 to be with that agency, saying that I was going to take classes and I was going to have headshots and all of this stuff, when in reality, they just wanted my freaking money, to be completely honest, because I didn't learn anything and I had a very short photo shoot. It was great photos, but it was supposed to be headshots, but they were like JCPenney pictures, which is unacceptable. So if you ever run into a talent agent, no matter where you live in the country, who is asking you for money up front, do not pay them anything. A real talent agent or a manager is not going to ask you for anything up front. They only take a commission off of work that they book for you. And on the flip side of that, know how to carry yourself as a business. There's a lot of actors out there that say, oh, well, I'm so passionate about it, I'm gonna do this no pay theater gig for 6 months. Baby, passion does not pay the bills, and we got bills to pay, and we have a career to build. How are you gonna pay for your new headshots? How are you gonna pay for your acting classes, working this acting job for free for so long? Sometimes it's good to do them for a short period of time, but if you're only doing free work, baby, we gotta talk, okay? So make sure that you're always carrying yourself as a business, because even though you love to do this, passion just don't pay the bills. And with that being said, business relationships in acting are super important. Have a great relationship with agents, casting directors, and managers, because it's very important for the longevity of your career. When you're going in for auditions, make sure that you greet the casting director, learn their name, and make yourself stand out, because you never know. They may bring you back for a job in 2 years and you're just memorable because you addressed them by their name, or you were just a pleasant face to be around. So learn how to carry yourself professionally. And acting is chess, you guys. So make sure that you are 3 steps ahead. You already know the agencies that you like. You already know the managers that you want to be with. You already know the casting directors that you need to keep your eye on. It is chess, and we got to play it as such. And the last part of acting as a business is to make sure that you are keeping your money separate. There are tons of actors that have gotten into trouble with the IRS because they are not paying their taxes, and we do not want to be in that number. So personally, I use a self-employed business banking app called Found to take care of all of my acting needs. And what happens is, when I deposit my money into Found, they categorize my expenses, and they also take out money for taxes, so I do not have to do it myself, because that's the biggest thing for me. And it's so much more user-friendly than like QuickBooks or Xero or all of those other bookkeeping apps. And you also get a debit card, so whenever you're paying for like your headshots, or you have to buy something for an audition, you can just swipe the card and the expense is automatically categorized with what you have set up. So this video is not sponsored at all, but if you want to sign up for your free Found account today, I do have a personalized link. It is get.found.app/Tyra the Creative. And if you sign up using my link, I will receive a small commission. So thank you in advance. And number 10 is, sometimes you have to have blind, crazy faith. And you guys, this is so important because you have to walk by faith and not by sight. I believe in God, and I believe that my steps are ordered by the Lord, and I really believe that I only booked family reunion because I was walking in the steps that God ordered for me. You are not always gonna know what your next step is. You're not always gonna know what your next job is. You just have to have faith that it will work out in your favor. So have blind, crazy faith and keep going for what you know is for you. And number 11 is something that I have recently just learned, and that is to trust your intuition above all other advice. And that's no matter who this advice is coming from. It could be your mama, your daddy, your acting coach, it could be your manager, any of those people. Always trust your gut. If you feel deep down inside, hey, something's not right, or I should be doing this, but this person said that, then go with your gut, because even if the advice is coming from a place of love or support of you, it ain't always for you. You really have to trust your gut. I personally pray to God and I meditate on it and I ask God for a sign, like, God, please give me a sign so I know that this is from you before I move, if I'm having some trouble deciphering between what's going on. So I always say, trust your intuition, because your intuition, that thing know. Be confident in your inner voice. So with that being said, I do not regret becoming an actor at all, and I'm so thankful for all of the lessons, the trials and tribulations that I have gone through to learn what I have learned during my journey. So in the comments below, let me know some things that you wish you knew before you decided to become an actor. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure that you give it a like, and if you are not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that big red subscribe button down below, and make sure your notifications are on so you can get all of the alerts anytime your girl posts any new acting related content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.